Gentlemen, welcome back to the second video of today. And the reason why there's two videos today is because today is technically my day off work, so I just thought I'd do another quick video for the Silverstone British Grand Prix, which technically I am going to. So if any of you guys are going to the British Grand Prix, leave it down in the comment section down below, or actually probably better off you know, yeah, just leave it down in the comment section and I'll try and read your comments. And yeah, you know, obviously pretty cool. Can't wait to go to the British Grand Prix. First time to this Grand Prix, the Silverstone Grand Prix. So obviously it'd be quite a exciting time. And in fact, the British Grand Prix is on the same weekend as my birthday, the 13th of July. That's the day of the qualifying, so you know, obviously pretty cool as well, you know, to be there whilst my birthday is going on as well. Hopefully Sebastian Vettel will win.
Keep in mind that practice is useful to get used to the track, improve your car setups, and also helps us gather data for car development. Make sure you don't jeopardize your results by taking these sessions too lightly.
So, obviously, our race, or vehicle performance engineer, Carl, just updating us there to make sure we keep on doing the practice sessions, and not to skip them, of course, because obviously we don't tend to do many practice. We only do the one practice, then we just get into the qualifying. Obviously, that's not going to change. We're going well, obviously, and yeah, last race earlier this morning, we got into Q3, and we also managed to scrape home a haul of points worth 10 in total. So yeah, you know, obviously Silverstone, first time driven this circuit on this new game. Obviously well, probably on either Monday or Tuesday of next week, I'll be doing a video in regards to basically, how can I put it? I'll be doing the modern, or the F1 car versus the F2 car, British Grand Prix edition. We'll be using the Williams, okay, and the McLaren. They are really the two, I think, only teams that actually originate from Britain when you think of it logically and properly. Because, right, Red Bull is actually, I think, Austrian, okay? Mercedes German, Ferrari Italian, Toro Rosso's Italian. You know, so, you know, Racing Point is obviously Canadian, used to be English. No, sorry, Indian actually used to be. And Renault is French. So obviously, yeah, the only two teams that are actually traditionally from Britain are the McLaren and the, obviously, Williams car, and also Alfa, by the way, Romeo and I forgot to mention Haas. They're from Italy and US respectively. So, you know, even though majority of the bases are here, 7 of the actual 10 F1 teams currently on the grid do have a base here in the United Kingdom. Red Bull, Mercedes, Williams, McLaren, Haas, and I think the other ones, Renault and Racing Point, all have their bases here in the UK. And the closest one to the actual track is actually, surprisingly, Racing Point, which obviously used to be Force India, like less than, well, still less than a year ago. So yeah, you know, obviously,
remember that chaining good corners together will give you a consistency bonus.
Less than a year ago, you know, but a big Grand Prix for all the teams though, nonetheless. Silverstone is the one that many drivers and teams would love to win. Vettel won here last year in the Ferrari. He took home a very solid race victory, I think can be all agreed upon last year. Hamilton probably would have won over Grand Prix, arguably. There's certainly a good argument and a good solid case that Hamilton would have won the Grand Prix if it wasn't for Kimi Raikkonen. But, you know, Hamilton didn't win the Grand Prix. It was Vettel who crossed the line first without a time penalty, should I say. Which is obviously a key to winning and having success in Formula 1. Still, going through this middle sector, and Silverstone's certainly feeling a bit different this year. It's not quite feeling the same or giving me the same feedback, the track at the moment. I don't know, it feels a bit more loose, the car, maybe. I don't know, it just saying doesn't feel quite the same. Certainly haven't got the same feeling in the car as of this stage of the weekend, maybe as what I did have in Austria, which isn't the greatest starts to the weekend.
This is the last lap of
So
the
yeah,
final
but having
lap
said
of the
that, we
program.
did improve there on our previous lap, and big swerve off the circuit. The grip is just not there. So we managed to get the green there. I'm going to have to settle for the green then there, the 25 resource points rather than the 50. I'm not going to repeat doing that process again. But yeah, the car just felt very odd there. I'm going to try and reduce some of the downforce. I don't know whether that's the issue. I'm not too sure. You know, can't put my
Best
finger
lap
on the
so
issue
far
just
is
yet.
a 1 minute
Can also reduce
37.2.
some of our tyre levels, and let's now try the race run. Hopefully that all goes well. Hopefully it's just maybe a track specific thing, or maybe a bit of a car balance thing at the moment, or maybe a grip level thing, maybe a tyre thing, who knows. I'm just saying everything that it could be rather than dealing with the issue right now, aren't I? But nonetheless, so we're put on a bit of a setup at the moment, so hopefully this should help just somewhat. So through the final corner, no DRS at the moment down this straight. I don't know whether DRS will be there in real life, but the car felt so well, a little bit better through there, so obviously some things improved. I find, whether that's tyre grip, who knows, I'm not too sure, but nonetheless, out then the slow corner, flow, open up the DRS, take a nice neat entry and exit to that corner. Very important to get on the DRS and the throttle early through there. And into probably one of Mark Webber's famous overtaking spots here. This is where you always fancied Mark Webber to make a manoeuvre. Then down the international pit straight, of course. This is where all the GT cars usually have their racing, you know, and was mainly primarily used in the 2010 Formula 1 season. Then it got changed to the other straight, the new pit facilities from 2011 onwards. Open up DRS now. And right now, race pace looking okay from what this is telling us so far. We're 1.1 up on our delta, which is nice to see. So yeah, gotta take that though with a bit of a pinch of salt. I have a final corner.
Okay, super job
So
so far. We're
yeah,
getting
lap
great
time
data.
looked
Stay
okay then
focused.
there. Still car feeling very, very slidey through that first corner. Doesn't feel the same as last year. But nonetheless, getting very good exit down this straight. I'm not sure whether this is the Hangar Straight or the Wellington Straight. I think this is Hangar Straight, if I'm correct. And this is the International Pit Wall Straight, of course. Then the last one's Wellington, isn't it? If I'm correct. And big off. That's a huge off moment then there. Not nice, obviously, to do that. Obviously, yeah. car doesn't seem to maybe drive some of the curbs here nicer like it did last year. Certainly feels a bit more, as I say, loose right now, the car does. But, nonetheless, hopefully it's quick. That's our main worry right now.
Great lap. You've nailed what we asked for. Keep it up.
That's the first time I've had probably proper confidence through there. Not taking a great line through there this time, but nonetheless. Now, Silverstone is one of them circuits where you can get good racing, 9 times out of 10. It's, though, not the most difficult tracks, I would not have said, but the thing is, it, like I say, one mistake and you're, you know, off on the grass or in the gravel track. You know, it's a proper old school circuit. You know, it's, I don't think we have much quite like it on the calendar, if you understand where I came from. Like, yeah, it's one of them circuits where, as I say, there are 1 or 2 runoffs, you know, but otherwise, it's very much old-fashioned in the way it works, this circuit, and across the line,
Super job so far.
skidding
Great data.
than that,
Stay focused.
and there's the grass. So, skidding across the line then there. So race pace saying it's okay, but yeah, overall then there, P11 then, which clearly is saying that we're okay. We probably have a chance of making it through to Q2 here then, which is nice to see, obviously. Obviously I would love to make it through to Q2 and possibly even into Q3 just like last time, but I feel like it's going to be probably a bit more difficult to progress from Q2 to Q3 if we do make it into Q2. It won't be, I don't think, the case where we can just go out for that one run and get the lap in. I feel like it's going to be a lot more of a push, even to probably get into Q2. I feel like it's just going to be a bit more of a push, okay, and isn't going to be as easy. But nonetheless, we're still going to go for it here. And yeah, and also one thing, we're really dominating our teammate, especially in recent practices here. So we're going to now fire up the engine and we're going to go for what is our first lap then here, obviously. And obviously this is our first lap of the qualifying session then, obviously. So yeah, we're about to find out what this car is made of around the circuit of Silverstone. Obviously, in terms of penalties, well, we're not going to take any penalties today, certainly not here, as all our components are looking fairly okay, in decent shape right now. So yeah, in terms of penalties, there won't be any penalties today, so no need to worry there. I think the only place where we're probably going to have penalties in the next few races will be Germany. Unless we have a really poor qualifying here, then I may decide to take a penalty, but I highly doubt it. Probably still draw it out to Germany, the gearbox. So yeah, that's the only concern I've got right now, is for our gearbox. Otherwise, we're all pretty well. in terms of the car and the power unit. The power unit looking a lot better as the season's progressing. So maybe a bit of reliability coming, maybe with the performance upgrades as well, which is obviously good if that is the case. This engine, I think we put it in maybe Canada, or I know it's quite a new engine. It was either Canada or France. So, and I'd say it's probably still got, even after this race weekend, another Grand Prix to come out of this ICU. So, yeah, possibly though. Right, out of the final corner, up the hill, into T1, getting car just not, well, I don't have quite the confidence in the car. Turn 3 now. Flat through 4. Then open up DRS down the straight. Then pick braking zone. Get a nice turn in. Clip the apex. Take a nice tight run through there. Open up corner here. Then flat out, maybe. Are we going to be flat? No, not quite. Running off just a tad. Won't gain too much time from that. Fastest middle sector. Bit wide. Into the final few corners now, just basically let the car grip up. And got a small warning for exceeding track limits in there, but 4 tenths down. So I have no idea how that fares to everyone else. Right now it puts us in P3, but we're ahead of our teammate, quite importantly. Obviously, one of McLaren's of Norris is, you know,
one lap of fuel remaining.
so right now Hulkenberg's in first. We're ahead of our teammate, thankfully. Just letting Albon go. But right now we're very much us Torossos, swiftly moving down the order, not up the order. Not sure how many have done their laps as of yet here in this Q1 session. It wasn't the greatest lap, but there was 1 or 2 mistakes that I spotted along the way. Vettel into the 31s, so that's on the medium tyre, so pole time's going to be pretty quick by the looks of it. It's only a 29. Now, last year's game, I found this pit entry one of the toughest to actually sort of come into. It was a very odd pit entry I always found here at Silverstone. Like, you couldn't really see the line for the actual entry, so you're sort of going into it very much a blind man, which isn't the nicest feeling when you're going into a pit lane and there's a speed limiter somewhere, and that has to be then activated. It's also one of the longest, by the way, pit lane entries, which makes pit stop times very much a very long thing here, which is, yeah, quite annoying. It's the longest, I think, pit limiter time along the grid. But right now we're sat in a steady P10 ahead of Lucas Weber, about a good half second ahead of our teammate here, which is okay, I guess, but we're still nonetheless in the drop zone, which obviously isn't where we want to be, but we're very close to the top 15, and as I say, to that Q1, you know, going through into Q1. But we've hit a problem.
All personnel be aware.
We've left
Car
ourselves
leaving.
insufficient time to do a lap. Oh dear, that's not good. That isn't good. So, yeah, we're out. We are out then, ladies and gents, in Q1. There's nothing we can do. That's the end of the session. There's absolutely nothing. I'll turn down the engine, because we're not gonna get through. So we're literally driving around, I don't know what for. We're now down to 18th. Ah, yeah, that's annoying. Yeah. We're literally driving around just to be eliminated in 13 seconds time. Maybe at 9 now. 5 seconds to elimination. 3, 2, 1. That's the end of Q1 then, ladies and gents. And we are out of Q1, starting 18th. Yeah, it's not the worst result we've had this year in quali, but to think that we could have also gone through, that's the thing that hurts. And yeah, I guess the positives we have to take is, you know, obviously we out-qualified our teammate once again for, I think, the second time in a row now, or third time in a row, so, which is pretty good. So that's a decent quali. But the negatives are, you know, we're out of Q1. We probably could have made it through so long we got in the lap. But yeah. But what we could have and what we did are two different things. And what we could have, we didn't achieve, unfortunately. So we're going to have to start from P18. That is the reality of the situation, which I'm not too fussed about. You know, I guess it's a, you know, a step backwards in a way. In some sense, but you know, at the end of the day, I do have belief that we could have made it through to Q2, and that is we have to take positive from. So therefore, we should have decent race pace in that sense. Race pace weren't looking too bad either on the practice session. So you know, obviously things could be worse.
From time to time. Try to make up for it in the race.
So yeah, obviously, as I say, it's gonna be still a long race, 13 laps, so yeah. So, obviously, we're now gonna go into the actual race then here, ladies and gents, and, you know, see what we can do from what is gonna be P18. Then obviously it's not the worst result we've had in qualifying, nor is it the best, but of course, you know, at the end of the day, you're never happy when you're starting P18, of course.
Okay, here we go. I know
Oh,
what
we've
you
been
can do.
promoted
Don't
by
let
the
me
looks of
down.
it, now to P17 for whatever reason. Has there been any grid penalties? Yes, there has. It looked like Magnussen's fallen down the order, so must have some sort of grid penalty.
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through
So,
them all if you can.
obviously, starting P17 and 18 for us two Toro Rossos. Obviously, this is the reality of the situation right now. I don't think, you know, all is lost just yet. If we have a decent start, I think we can get into a decent position.
Radar is clear.
Yeah.
Weather is looking good for now.
So turning the ERS map down to that 2 deployment. The reason why I do that is because I always feel the hot lap gives you a bit too much wheel spin, whereas you want to be in a bit of a lower power mode, I find. And you don't want to be doing that on your formation lap. Looking very cloudy, which is a shame. Haven't been doing as much weaving. Alright, here we go then. So, starting behind Kubica, but in front of our teammate Alexander Albon. Here, as we now take our grid slot. Aimed a bit to the left, oddly, which is okay, I guess. And lights out and away we go. It's not been a bad start here. Gotta be careful at turn number 1. Very easy, you get caught up in all the traffic and chaos. Dart to the inside, obviously. Teammate will have the inside line for the next corner. And give a bit of room. Teammate pushes me out wide. I don't think it was deliberate, but nonetheless, bit aggressive from Alex there. Obviously, maybe we were holding also in to something for a bit too long. Give Alex a bit of room on the inside. Now Alex gonna just out drag me here. We're gonna try and pick up a bit of slipstream. And obviously Albon's got the position done. No DRS on this first lap
Now stay alert for threats around you.
of the designated 13. DRS will come available on lap 3. So got Albon now done. So once again our teammate is behind me in this race. We'll have the slipstream though. Feel a whole lot more confident through there. Compared to maybe previous day on the practice and quali. Right, lap number 2, of course, of the 13 laps. And just ploughing now, trying to get to the back of bits up. Albon's going to have a good run. Albon goes to the outside, no DRS, so practically both got the same amount of top end speed here. Bit of wheel contact between myself and Albon. Having a decent battle, getting a bit more contact between us two as teammates.
Okay, entering lap 3
In this
now.
good
DRS
wheel-to-wheel
has been
racing.
enabled.
And bit of an off for us. Can we rejoin back in front of Albon? We've gone so deep. That's cost us so many positions here. We really did make a mess up of that. Running now stone last in the Grand Prix. Raikkonen getting past now my teammate, of course. We'll be soon back onto them, I would have thought. But yeah, not the way we want to go racing.
Battery charge is high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace.
Right now, the pace of the car just feels very slow. It doesn't feel fast at the moment. Feels like a very slow car here. Obviously, in France, we did drag that point score out of the bag, I would say, with some vital moves, but I feel like we had a bit more pace. This circuit does have a bit of reminiscence to France, maybe in some of its layout. And right now, Magnussen going for a manoeuvre on my teammate. We're probably going to have a look up the inside. And that's us in to now P19. Again, a bit more contact between me and my teammate. Me and my teammate keep on making contact each time we come into battle with one another this year. My teammate's really fallen off the pace. I don't think he's got any damage. I think he's just struggling with the pace of his car. Alright. Magnussen's gonna have a run on Raikkonen here. We're just gonna follow Magnussen, see what he does. Obviously, gotta be careful here with the AI and go wheel to wheel.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Balls. I'm gonna use the first flashback of the day then there. That'll be the first time we use a flashback today.
If you think you can get past, increase ERS deployment to overtake mode.
Right, open up the DRS. Gonna use a second flashback. Made a driving error there. 100%. That wasn't to do with balance or anything. That was 100% just the way we drove the corner. And I know that. Just like that. Driving, lazy driving that is. By the way, just in case you're wondering what's my rule with the flashbacks, if you understand where I'm coming from, my rule is, okay, a flashback may be used, okay, during the race, okay, I'm allowed to use as many as I feel fit. I will try to limit the amount of them as possible. As you can see, in the last few episodes, we've only probably had to use, well, at Canada, we didn't have to use any, okay. Whereas here we've only used 2. Okay, during the course, not of the weekend, during the course of the race. During the course of the weekend, in qualifying, if I'm on a good lap, okay, and unless I make a very simple error, oh jeez, had to go off track there. And then he's just hit me. What a pillock. But what I'm trying to say, okay, if, you know, I use them in the race, I'll only try to limit them to only where I've made a mistake, and I will make sure that it doesn't gain me any lasting advantage, okay? So, let's say I made a mistake, okay? Let's say now, okay? Let's say I just went wide, okay? I would allow that. A bit like that turn 1 excursion. But with maybe, you know, where it is my fault, or let's say, you know, I've had a bit of a driving error, like a spin or something, or, you know, something that maybe a bit more serious, you know, I will use the flashback, because whilst, you know, I do want to get better at the game, and, you know, I understand that. And I understand some people may say flashbacking is cheating, and you know what? You could deem it as a form of cheating. You know, in real life you can't flashback, so why do it in the game like that? You know, why then flashback in the game? You know, why don't you just let the race take its path? And that's a very good question. And the answer is okay, but the word game, it's a game. A game. Just remember that one word. It's a game. Like, you know, I know you guys who watch my videos don't have a problem with it. You know, me using the flashback.
Let's turn up the ERS deployment and
which I'm thankful of. You know, but just in case you're wondering the rule on the flashback, basically it can't gain any lasting advantage as such, and it can't be used to, let's say, perform a overtake or to give a second chance at overtake. So I wouldn't use it in a scenario just like what happened there, just literally less than 5 seconds ago, where we sort of got a slide. I wouldn't use it for forgetting to use the DRS or anything, or for, let's say, banging into Raikkonen. Like, it'd be mainly only used on A, lap 1, and B, in the scenario where we, you know, basically spin, or maybe have a small, very small incident, you know, and I feel like that isn't worth, you know, maybe this and that. And maybe for certain penalties as well, and possibly on pit limit. These are the only times.
Go, exit now. We're racing on the exit. Exit.
So I wouldn't use it for that, because that's just an error from me. I didn't hold in the clutch there. But otherwise, yeah.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
So out of the pits we come. Only got 5 laps now of what's been quite a dull. Well, I wouldn't say dull, but how can you put it? Performance-wise, yeah, we've just not been there. Yeah, we've just not had the pace. Been battling with the back markers today, which sometimes, you know, that's the way Formula 1 works, you know. As I say, we had our strong track.
Engine is looking a little.
I guess we're back down to the reality of what this car's capable of. Obviously, we want to develop it ASAP. Like, don't get me wrong, are we going to move teams also at the end of the season? Who knows? Right now, I feel 50-50 if we were to move teams, you know. I want to do well at Toro Rosso before we move it to a bigger team, if you understand.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
I don't just want to move team for the sake of moving team. And you know, it would be nice also to, you know, get Toro Rosso to maybe even the front of grid. To become the lead Red Bull team. That'd be pretty insane. But, yeah.
The car ahead is coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead, now running medium tyres.
Right now, doing a good job here on this medium tyre. Looking pretty pacey.
Gap to car in front is 1.6 seconds.
Right, goal for this race. If we can maybe get Raikkonen and Kubica, I think that'd be okay. Way to end the day. So that would give us P16.
Battery charge is high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace.
Alright, Kubica, if we can get on the hanger straight, that'd be lovely. We're getting close.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Here we go. Let's go for it, come on. Gonna go. There we go, that's Kubica done. Next up is Kimi. So let's try and get Kimi, Raikkonen. Pretty, I guess, rough there, but it was all 4 wheels on the circuit. Now let's try and now chase after George.
Yellow flag.
And looks like we're gonna inherit
Incident in the next part of
P15.
the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
What an idiot am I? We'll use a flashback there. I can see the yellow flag. Yeah, I don't take any precaution.
Some information on Strong. They're retiring from the race.
No, that was better. I should have done that first time, in all honesty.
Okay, clear.
How did I forget to, you know, do that? Alright, into the final sector of the lap.
They're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Right. Let's see how much we can gain on George.
The gap to the car ahead is 4.1 seconds.
I'd like to get that down to maybe 3 seconds by the end of the race. Let's see if we can do that. Then that'd be okay as a result. On these medium compound tyres, I'll tell you what, they felt very, very good in this second phase. So much better. I'm just wondering, did we do the wrong strategy? Should we have gone maybe mediums then softs? That could have been a hell lot of a better strategy. But yeah, these tyres just feel so great. Feels like you've got all the grip in the world.
This is your final lap. Final
3.2
is
is the gap.
Teammate by 13.1 seconds.
They didn't feel like they had all the grip though in the world through there, did they?
Okay. That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Felt a bit less than all the grip in the world through there. In fact, just to prove these tyres are actually good, only 18% tyre wear for 5 laps, so yeah, they're good. Balls. That was just me pushing a bit too hard. We're going to use like as many flashbacks as we want on this final lap.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.5 seconds.
Right, let's turn up the engine, full beam now. There we go.
Okay, good
that's the
job,
end of
mate.
then
Well done.
that
That was
race.
fantastic.
I feel like we achieved nothing for probably nothing. Very disappointing lackluster race. And sorry about that one, guys. Really am. Considering like the last two races, last three actually, have been so good. And we're sort of been now brought back down to ground.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger
Yeah,
to the
Vettel
podium,
again,
taking
your
their
race
place
winner.
on top
That's
once again.
another two
A
back-to-back
sublime race
wins, a
today,
fourth win
and a
for
stunning
Sebastian
win for
Vettel
Ferrari.
now in this season. So yeah, he's certainly gaining very quickly on Lewis Hamilton now, and really helping out that Ferrari team. It looks like Ferrari once again getting the edge just a bit back in this championship. Now, of course, you know, Austria, now Britain, you know, where next? You know, for them, of course. And no driver so far this season has won more than two back-to-back races, and Vettel, you know, is now on top. Like, only a point though, 4 points ahead of Charles, but, you know, obviously,
It's
yeah.
got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari
So,
continue to extend
obviously,
the gap at the top of
decent
the table.
race then.
And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with
Very
more
decent.
races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
So constructors, okay. So Toro Rosso, now, well, we're still on 19 points. No changes in the constructors, sorry, that's what I meant to say. In terms of drivers, obviously Vettel now taking the Drivers' Championship lead for a second time this season. Only a point though ahead of his main rival Lewis Hamilton, and you could even consider second main rival Charles Leclerc teammate as well, of course. 23 points though clear of Bottas, and you know, got a huge gap back to Verstappen. 6th place is Gasly, 7th Perez, 8th Ricciardo, 9th Hulkenberg, 10th is Magnussen. 11th here are we, sorry, with 19 points, but clear of the Raikkonen, Stroll, Weber, Butler, Norris, Grosjean, Kubica, Russell and Albon. Still 0 points is Kubica, Russell and Albon though, unfortunately. And the only team still not and yet waiting to score points is the Williams team still this season. So yeah, very not disappointing, I guess, for the well, for Williams, but I guess a bit of a lackluster one, of course, because Williams is one of them teams that obviously does like succeeding. They love succeeding, but they're one of them teams that considers themselves always and always have been to be the underdog team, and the team obviously of a family pride. And there's nowhere that like Williams, I don't think, that ever has that family pride. You know, however, right now at Toro Rosso Red Bull, or Scuderia Toro Rosso, obviously right now we are certainly performing in the second Scuderia, of course, because there's only 2 Scuderias on the
That's
grid.
a great result. You did really well. I don't think we
Obviously
can have
that
any
is
complaints
us.
with our performance.
So yeah, that is very good, and looking very strong. We also beat our rival George Russell for the first time in this career mode. Okay, so George won't be happy with that. Obviously we selected George as our rival, so we'll gain 15 respect points there. We've already beaten our teammate once, Albon, who is quite good though, but I don't know, in this recent races he's not been getting, I don't think, the best out of the car. In terms of gearbox wear, only 58%, so who knows, we'll see, we'll decide at the next race whether or not to take the hit of a gearbox penalty. Of course, if we do do next race, then of course it does mean, regardless where we finish, we won't take penalties for places like Hungary, Belgium, Italy, Singapore, Russia. I don't think. And yeah, so I don't know. We'll decide next race on that. We'll jump forward. We'll fast forward to the next race. Select tire wear, and then that'll be it for me from the day. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with a brand new F1 2019 video for you guys. Of course, we're gonna up the AI difficulty only by 1%. I feel it's time now to just up it slightly to that 94% AI. Obviously, the difficulty is still quite high, so I feel like that'll be correct to up it to now that. Okay, and we'll just see how we get on that 94% AI. As I say, we are upping it slowly. You know, we had to sort of go back down to that, obviously, as you know, 92% AI difficulty level, which was a shame. But that actually says the game's obviously improved. Obviously, the more we can up it later on, the better. So you're having a absolute joke. No, no, what a joke. Selecting Devon Butler as our rival, by the way, but no. 2 upgrades failed, and the 2 that we were looking most forward to failed. Meaning that, yeah, we have to now wait till Hungary to get them new upgrades. Hungary, and that's now put Rocket Williams ahead of us in the R&D performance chart. I really feel like we're not upgrading fast enough right now. I want to upgrade faster. Yeah. What can I say? What a shame. 'Cause that would have helped, you know. Obviously, upgrades do fail. So I'm gonna add on that one. How many upgrades can we do here? And then do that. Then that's then 2 upgrades can. So that's quite a chunk of upgrades for Hungary. That's 4 upgrades for Hungary now. So 2 majors, 2 minors. That should just help. And earn some resource points here. And I want to bring some upgrades. Probably some small upgrades from here now till Italy. Then from Italy onwards, we're just going to save resource points, preparing for a regulation change, because obviously regulation changes are still in this game, just like last title. So if we can do that, I think that'd be a good idea. That should just help us out then. If we do have that regulation change, we can just save some of our upgrades that we've already got. Main ones I want to save would have to be the engine side of it. I'm not too fussed about the aerodynamic side or the, you know, it's still nice to keep the M2, but you know, but yeah, I think if we can do that, that'd be good. So, if we can get this one through, then get these 2 on the car, I think, hopefully, that'd be the plan. Then maybe get 1 more from here, and then maybe 1 from here. I think that could be a decent plan if we can do that. So that's 4 more upgrades for the entire season. Then that opens possibility also then getting these majors as well. Then yeah, next season we'll probably work a bit on durability. Then yeah, I honestly feel like it's going to be a good 2 or 3 season project before we start to see this pay off. But yeah, I feel like we're going to be a lot more competitive in Season 2, of course, But yeah, still, thank you for joining. See you all tomorrow for the German Grand Prix. Be there or be squared. Subscribe, like, and share. Tomorrow morning, from probably around 11 to 12 a.m., some point in between them times, I'll be uploading. See you all then. Have a good day. See you all next time.